Hey guys, so today we're here in the absolutely beautiful Cape Town, and this is our first review for the year. And today we've brought along the much anticipated Fuji X-Pro2. Now this beautifully designed retro camera is all new for 2016, and it really features some of Fuji's brand new tech that really serves to bring this retro design into the modern era. And today we're going to run you through all the specs on it, all the features, everything that sets it apart from the rest of Fuji's lineup. So come with us and let's have a look at this beauty. So for 2016, Fuji has completely updated the X-Pro camera, and with the new X-Pro2, what you've got is a whole slew of brand new features, chief among which is the new 24 megapixel X-Trans 3 sensor that this little unit is running. Now that's a brand new sensor for Fuji, never used in a camera before, and that really bumps up your megapixel specification from all the previous units. In addition to that, you've got an ISO range from 100 to 51,200. That ISO range is also now usable in your RAW images, where previously when you were shooting RAW you could only use the native ISO and not the extended ISO range in this unit. Apart from that also, shutter speed is now at a maximum of 1/8000 and no longer 1/4000. That's on the mechanical shutter. If you switch it over to the full electronic shutter, you can bump that up to 1/32000, which is quite impressive. This unit also has the compressed RAW functionality. Now that basically allows you to shoot a slightly smaller RAW file, but it's still a lossless compression. So basically you've got all the functionality of a RAW file, but it's a little bit smaller, taking up less space on your memory card. So the Fuji X-Pro2 also features an all-new autofocus system, and it now has 273 autofocus points, allowing you to literally put that autofocus point anywhere in your frame. You get beautiful coverage, on it. So that's a beautiful, beautiful upgrade. In addition to that, you also have the new Acros film simulation mode. Now, Fuji's always been known for their film simulation modes that they put into the X series cameras, and that sort of harks back to the, where Fuji started originally with film production and that kind of thing. And that gives you an absolutely fantastic simulation. Now, the Acros is quite a high contrast black and white film simulation. Really gives you deep, intense black colors, and then quite a, almost a blown out highlight, and that gives a fantastic rendition. Along with that, another little upgrade that they put in is that you now have an artificial grain simulation that you can apply over all of the film simulation modes within these Fujis. And that again just gives it a little bit more of a film feel, which is very, very nice to have in a digital camera. The Fuji X-Pro2 also shoots 1080p video at 60 frames per second. Another very nice feature that's quite handy if you are going to shoot a bit of video with it is that the camera now has dual memory card slots. Very handy features. A lot of people have been asking for that, and definitely a must-have in a little bit more pro, serious camera. Then probably the biggest feature on this camera, and something that we'll go into a bit more detail later on, is the brand new hybrid viewfinder. It's an optical viewfinder, but it does have an OLED screen in as well. And that OLED screen is now 2.3 million dots, which is absolutely fantastic, but we'll touch on that later. A big upgrade from the X-Pro1 is also now that Fuji have added full Wi-Fi capabilities into the X-Pro2. So with the Wi-Fi capabilities, you can connect your cell phone or your tablet to the camera, you can control it remotely, you can transfer images, also allows you to do direct upload, so very nice if you're out and about shooting, you got that great picture and you just want to pop it onto Facebook, Instagram straight away. Excellent, excellent feature now added into this unit. So let's take a walk around this beautiful part of Cape Town and go into these features a little bit more in depth. Come along. Hey little guy. We're in Africa, but there's no lions everywhere, so we'll have to settle for ducks. This is some native Cape Town wildlife. It's about as close as we get. Even though the X-Pro2 is a brand new camera for 2016, Fuji has gone to great lengths to maintain all the standout features that made the X-Pro1 such an amazing camera. So what you have is you've still got that classical 1960s design body, full metal of course, you know, nothing but the best there. They've now included weather sealing on the unit, so it works very well with all of the weather sealed lenses that they've got in their lineup. In addition to that, you know, new button layout makes it a little bit more intuitive to use. They've added a little joystick, which is very, very handy. Makes it much easier to choose autofocus points in your menu. Also, and probably my favorite thing, is the new grip. It's physically a much bigger grip, gives you a nice, you know, handhold, very, very handy. If you're out and about, makes it a much more secure unit to use in your hands. In addition to that, they've also added another little retro throwback feature, but it is actually very handy, and the more I've used this camera, the more I've come to rely on it. So around your shutter speed dial, there's a little pull-up ring, and you can then adjust your ISO right there. Extremely handy. So with the X-Pro2, Fuji is really setting the groundwork for what their cameras in the coming generation is going to be in terms of, you know, the new sensors, new processors, all of that kind of thing. But that's all generational improvements. Now, what you would want to know is what sets the X-Pro2 apart from something like the X-T1. And that really does come down to the hybrid optical viewfinder. Now, this thing, I mean, it's absolutely amazing. With the interchangeable lenses, what they've included in this one is you've got crop marks within your viewfinder. Those crop marks are electronic and they're projected, you know, onto the screen. And as you change lenses, it changes the focal length and changes your crop marks within that frame. Now, if you're using telephoto lenses, that kind of thing, you know, on a camera like this, unfortunately, you do lose some of the functionality within that. So where this really comes into play is if you're using wider lenses or they're prime lenses. So today I've got the little 35 f2 on here, and it's absolutely beautiful for that. Now, this is a hybrid viewfinder, so you can pull a little lever and it'll change over to a full electronic viewfinder. As I said previously, now up to 2.3 million dots viewfinder in that. If you have it in the picture-in-picture effect, you see your optical, you know, viewfinder, your rangefinder style, you know, optical viewfinder with all the crop marks and all of that information. And then in the right-hand corner, you have a little LCD projected display that comes in there, and that actually shows you the sort of the through the lens view, if I can put it that way. Very handy to use. Absolutely magnificent. Where I'd say this unit really comes into play is, say for example, you're a street photographer. Having the crop marks, absolutely beautiful, perfect for framing. What it allows you to do is the actual field of view is slightly wider than what your crop marks are, and that allows you great anticipation. So you're watching through the viewfinder and you can see elements a couple of seconds before they're in your frame, which is absolutely fantastic. Allows you that little bit of time just to set it up, anticipate, and get that shot. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take some pics and we're going to show you how that works. Come with us. So I've switched it over into Provia, which is like Fuji's general purpose film simulation, and it's really excellent for skin tones. At the moment, camera's in spot meter mode, and I've got it set to black and white film simulation with a green filter applied. So this is Fuji's new Acros mode, and the beautiful contrast is just perfect for a shot like this. So we're still in Acros, and I just want to have a quick look and see what that feels like when you're shooting a bit of a portrait. So again, we've got the Acros enabled. I just want to see if we take a bit of an architectural style shot, see how it comes out. very quick. So we just stepped into the National Library of South Africa and we're going to take a couple of snaps inside the main hall. Well, that brings to a conclusion our excursion for today, and with that the review of the fantastic new Fuji X-Pro2. In terms of design philosophy, it absolutely just encompasses everything that Fuji has been doing over the last couple of years. The specifications are fantastic and a wonderful evolution of the previous X series cameras. Personally, I absolutely love the hybrid viewfinder. I find it extremely useful. I know it's not going to be to everybody's taste, but for me, absolutely does it. As a personal Fuji owner and user, I'm very excited. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop us a like, comment if there's anything else that you'd like to know, and as always, don't forget to subscribe for more of these. Thank you.